Hi, this is Key's Bartender coming to you from Key Largo at the Catch Restaurant. We're going to call this episode Opening the Bar. I got in here a little over an hour and 15 minutes ago, and I just, when I come in, what I do is I look around and see what I need to open up. So we start with whatever is the task at hand. You know, we got to clean up, we got to arrange things, we got to get all our supplies out. We got to get our bar ready for business, and that includes getting ice, making sure mixers are filled up, making sure that you're properly insulted by the kitchen staff, who doesn't realize you know all the curse words in Spanish. Because working in the industry for 10 years, you're going to learn those things. But that's on another note. But I start out with cleaning. Before I came in, I stopped at the produce stand, and I wanted to get supplies for the day. I want to try a couple martinis. I want to do fresh apple martinis, some pear mojitos perhaps. We got some nice pears. Being in South Florida, we're always, actually in the Keys, we're right off South Florida, but consider South Florida. We have fresh produce all year round. So we're fortunate with that. So I always think about that before I come in. So I come in, I clean up, set everything up, make sure my menus are ready, getting ready for whoever comes in first. And there's not always a given that you'll get an early crowd, but it behooves yourself to be ready just in case. You don't know when that bus is coming in, or that or a couple cars. Van stops in, a bunch of people with a meeting. So the being ready, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do another series called "So You Want to Be a Bartender," and in that, as any bartender's worth of salt, you are ready when the doors are open. And I like to be ready before, because I always say when someone comes in, if they come in a half hour early, if it's all right with the boss, I will open up as early as I can. If there's no time restriction, we're ready. There's Billy right here, Billy from our show. I'm doing a live podcast, Billy, just telling you about the bar open. But it's Billy from the Keys, Billy. Hey, are you playing anywhere tonight?
Yeah, we're down at Lorelei.
They're down at Lorelei tonight?
Lorelei.
The Key Billies or?
No, Sweetwater.
Sweetwater's down at Lorelei's. What time?
Key Billies.
What time?
6 to 10.
6 to 10, Sweetwater. And Lorelei's at mile marker 82, something like that in Islamorada.
70 something maybe.
Oh, really? That far south?
Maybe.
I think. Okay, yeah, well, it's right. It's before you get down to Pierre's and all those places down there. So I think it's around 80. 80, because...
I don't know, I just keep driving until I see the...
Yeah, it's on the Bayside. It's a beautiful place, and if you get a chance, any of your locals listen to it. Sweetwater is a great band to listen to, especially on this. I think we're going to have a beautiful night tonight. Be nice to a slight breeze, and probably end up in the low 80s. Sultry night, but I diverge from my topic. We're opening up, so I check the beer. I make sure that I have all the liquor. I make sure I have wine. Obviously, that's not a big thing in the morning for us, but we get it. I cut up fruit. I have my fruit ready for whatever I'm going to be doing here. I put out all my bar implements, all my tools, make sure my garnishes are cut up, and do some other things that maybe I plan to do the rest of the day, meaning coming up with drinks. I brought some things in to make the day more interesting. So I'll pop that on you probably a little later, but that may be recorded. It's early on, especially in the Keys. You got people leaving us on Friday. You got people coming in. We got tourists coming. Understand there's a big hotel across the street, and we get a lot of people coming in there. We get our lunch crowd that comes in. It's kind of slow during the daytime, and then you get the people that went on their morning dives, fishing trips, and they're coming in, and we get a lot of visitors out and locals, and they're all ready to get their weekend started. It's not a big drinking crowd on a Friday day here, when in Philadelphia, once you open a bar, you get your retirees coming in and they're drinking all day. And they're sitting in their chairs from 3 o'clock on. Not 3 o'clock on, I'm sorry. Let's just say like 9 o'clock on. And then you got those shift workers that come in. That was always a big deal, in the big cities. You got these people that work 10 to 6, 12 to 8, whatever. They're done. Their morning is, that's their day. They come in for drinks and stuff like that. They can't, in the old days, I'm sure that people used to go in before. I heard stories of people coming into a place that used to work at a nuclear power plant. And they were coming in at, I think when they opened up this bar at 8 o'clock, the bartender would set up like 4 places for them. And they'd come in and they'd do shots and beers. And they kept on asking us, so you work the 12 to 8 shift? And no, we worked in 9 to 5 shift. So they were drinking up before they went into work, which is kind of disconcerting. I'm hoping they didn't work in the control room, but that's the way it is sometimes. We don't know that stuff. And, I guess if I lived downwind, if I look at the wind currents or where the radiation would shift, I would be concerned as the bartender who was serving. But then again, if they didn't get it at your place, they get it someplace else, but you still have a responsibility. I don't know if I'd want to serve and be responsible for anything if these guys were anything other than like groundskeeper, painters, and things like that. If they worked in a control room and managed the reactors, I think I'd be disturbed. Well, the things about morning, you get your deliveries in, you get your marching orders for the day, you get your specials up. You never know what that's going to bring. And with specials, it's usually the chef. And I know we know this in the business. The chef, or whatever they have more of, anything they want to push, things that are slow moving, they're going to make something special. So, and not to be crass, but it's like our leftovers. If we repackaged leftovers like restaurants would, our family would be very happy to see what could come out of being a little more creative with these things. And that's what you have to do, because you buy a lot of supplies and you got to move it out. Otherwise, you'll be eating product that goes bad. And no, they won't be eating products that go bad. They won't throwing them out. They wind up throwing it out. And it's all about the bottom line here. So today we'll be seeing, especially more time sensitive here because of fresh fish, especially in fish areas and stuff. Unless people are using frozen fish, which is more up north and not near seafood or freshwater fish or whatever, big suppliers. More like if someone has frozen fish they're preparing, like fast food places, it's not time sensitive. You got a frozen fish, doesn't matter. And some people call it cryogenically frozen or whatever, so you have a process. So that, what happens with seafood, especially fish and shrimp, once you freeze something, ice crystals form inside the flesh and they change the nature of the texture of the fish. So you can tell. It's not necessarily a taste, but a texture thing, but it kind of lends itself when you taste something and the texture and how the flesh or the fish falls apart. Now, when it comes to sushi, tuna and all that, flash freezing is really good too, especially sushi grade tuna, because it kills parasites. And sushi grade tuna has to come from deep water, cold areas. But they still can get parasites, and that's the good thing about especially when you eat anything raw. You got to be, you have to consider what is living, the living organisms inside the once living organism. And if you're eating it raw and has never been frozen, there hasn't been an opportunity to stop that life cycle, that parasite or whatever will be living in you, and that'll cause big damage to your system. So I think we see that. I think you may see a lot of that now. A lot of the problems are caused because of that craze. A lot of people come in with their fish from like they may get tuna, and that's not a super deep water tuna, and there's a lot of parasites in it, and they want it cut up as sushi. Man, whenever if you want rare fish and stuff like that, it's sitting in the water and stuff, there are tons of things that could go wrong in that. So please be considerate. That's the reason why I call it sushi grade tuna. So unless you know where that fish comes from and it's prepared under that stringent regimen, make it sushi, there's no guarantee of what you're going to get. And there's still no guarantee. You know, someone can just call it sushi grade, but all the places I've worked at, they've been very adamant about doing that. And when they use tuna, they're using a tuna that's best served, rare, and there's opportunities to, especially that they stop the life cycle of any parasites that may be in it, or it's so cold that where you get it from, that those parasites don't form. Like the sushi grade tuna, almost all sushi grade tuna is frozen first. And I'll get people argue with it and stuff like that. But you know what? It's just the way of the world. If you know any of your biology, you know, something's coming to your table and it hasn't had a chance, you know, you eat. That's the reason why people don't eat rare pork. Though, I mean, rare beef, you got to be careful because, you know, there's possible wild beef and all that stuff. There's parasites that form in the meat of wild animals too. So, kind of like, you know, going rare unless you know the source. And it's a trusted source, you got to be real careful. Today, I'm going to talk about the stuff I brought in. I brought in some nice Granny Smith apples. I think the Granny Smith apples are going to work right in a sour apple martini. I got a golden, delicious one, and the color's really nice on that. I'm going to try to make some kind of apple mojito with that, and I have pears too, maybe pear mojito. But you know, everyone has a take on the pear martini right now. There's like a million of them. They do lychee pear teas. They have a blood orange. Pear martini, anything you want, strawberry pear martini. The mix of it is everyone's trying to get some kind of combination, make it really jump out at you. And you'll see a lot of grapefruit and pineapple in the summertime, especially down here. It's mango season, and it's like every other person has a mango tree. So we are flush with mangoes. I mean, people that live down here. Who buys mangoes this time of year? I don't know, because when they come in, they'll be like, someone will get 1,000 pounds of them, and they'll come off these trees, and you just can't do anything. They give them away. But you got to be careful when you walk into a neighborhood. You can't just walk into a yard and start picking up mangoes off someone's lawn. They'll actually, you can actually get arrested for something like that. So, I'm going to try that. And when we're cutting apples, the big problem with apples is we got a first customer today, I think so. How are you, sir? Good.
I just get, you're all hooked up for like a Coke? You like Coke?
Right, yeah, we are, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, I just needed a
A Coke?
Need some caffeine.
Here we go. Little ice?
Yeah. Oh, no, you can put more ice in.
Okay. I'm going to give you, well, here, drink some of it and you get, then I'll cap it, drink some of this, and then we'll fill it up again. We get some. I'll bring you up here.
Long week, very little sleep.
Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, comes with the territory.
What do you do?
I'm an architect.
Architect. Oh, what are you working on? Are you working at the Hilton?
Houses is the worst. They didn't ever, always screaming, they want it now.
Really?
Yeah. Then they make 1,000 changes, but they still want it on time, you know?
Oh. Well, so what, it's in the Keys here, or you're heading up? Or
Yeah,
you
mostly Ocean Reef.
Ocean Reef?
But
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. So you have to deal with not only that, you have to deal with approval from the organization too. Yeah.
Which is worse. I'm going to
So
go
Ocean-
through one now. But what
Oh, yeah?
happens during the season,
Yeah.
it's worse. During the season, I don't even work during the day. I'm running, fires and people are here. It's kind of now. Gotta go meet, read changes, and then I come back at 5 or 6 o'clock, and I gotta go work at night because my staff doesn't even see me.
Okay.
So I gotta work nights and weekends to produce the work that I'm doing all day. Everybody does this.
Wow.
It's nuts. It's really sad.
So yeah, and this is the time you do it off season. They want all the work done.
It's slow. Like most of it's long distance. We call.
No, I mean, don't they want all the changes done off season?
Yeah, off season, and
But that's when you-
yeah.
yeah.
They're building it. And
Yeah.
those changes, we got to make those changes right away, or we're holding up the job. It's the same
Uh-huh.
thing. It's like we can't win.
Wow. Well, good luck. Let me top that off and give you a clap on that and stuff.
This should be good.
Yeah? You sure?
Yeah.
Let me,
Just need a
come
little
on.
bit. And I didn't feel like coffee. I just felt
Get a
like
straw for you so you don't spill any on yourself. Here you go.
I gave pictures for Jenny to send to clients to
Yeah.
construction photos, and I put the wrong names on the clients. And she said, "Oh, Blaine, no, just tell me you had no sleep."
Yeah.
Because the client said, "Oh, there's a great photos of not my house."
Take care. Thank you. Have a good weekend. So, that was the first customer today. See how, you know what? It's important how you interact with people. Be very welcoming. You know, treat them like they're, you know them. And you know what? It sounds like this is a gentleman that works, I think next door. There's some architects. That's got to be from next door. So, yeah, we're waiting for the next one. The first one came in, just came in for a soda. I feel kind of bad because, you know, unless you go for the refills, you know. But you know what? Your soda, I mean, it costs maybe a nickel. But you know what? That's the thing about you got to manage the system. You got to have it ready. But you can make a ton of business just selling soda. Just doing a live thing right there. Wait, you can't hear you because it's into my microphone. Here, right here. Now I hear you, but no one else could hear you. So it's because it's just this one right here, and they couldn't hear that guy either. Yeah. What? I'm live podcasting right now. Just opening how we open a bar and show people how to interact with other people when come. You know, someone comes in with soda and I say, you know what, soda, it's one of the highest markups, but we maintain a system here. You know, syrup system, delivery system, packaging, and all that stuff. What? Drop it. Did I drop it? No. Why would I stop it? They didn't hear anything. All he knew is I didn't get any name or anything like that. As long as there's name, there's no you know, you don't have to worry about as much. When someone comes up and they're talking to you and you're talking, you should make an assumption that it's going to be picked up, but they can't hear because this is only good to this far away. So I don't hear anything. So we're ready to go right now. I'm going to close this off. That's our first 15 minutes. I'm going to do a recording later on about So You Want to Be a Bartender. Let's see how much we got here in the studio. Okay, that'll be it.